While we are being distracted by the many happenings in Nigeria, the kidnappings, the terrorist activities, and the deception of the government of the day, do you know that if you truly want to understand the dynamics of the problems of Nigeria, perhaps we should draw our attention to the coalition. Yes, the coalition party. Now, the coalition party is supposed to be one of the greatest and strongest opposition to the Tinubu administration. But inside this supposed coalition, there is even a greater political dynamic that is playing. And for me, rather than see the dynamic, I see through the dynamics to expose some of the very intricacies that has bound Nigeria into its problems. And what is this intricacies? Well, what is this intricacy? The truth here is this. We have an Atiku and a Peter Obi. An Atiku represents a desire for power to come back to the north. A Peter Obi represents a desire for a change. Now, how does these two objectives outplay or interplay themselves? Exposes problems of Nigeria. Let me start with Atiku. Atiku, everybody knows that the brainchild behind the formation of the ADC is Atiku. And the idea that an Atiku will form a party and then suggest a primary to be run, and then he will lose that same primary in a party that he formed or in a coalition that is formed, will only take a brain or a head without a brain to conceive that. So ADC, if a primary or if an election through a primary will be run, it's packaged for Atiku. But that is not even my problem. My problem with this whole thing is the supremacist complex of where Atiku come from, that the best they can offer the South is a running mate or a vice or a deputy. That's what has always annoyed me, that when they see South, the best they think of us is playing the second fiddle. That to me is the greatest insult of any Southerner. But for some weird reason also, some Southerners are okay or are contented to play that second fiddle. For me, that's a no-no. On the other hand, we have a Peter Obi, who to me, even though wants to, whether I would like it or not, is from the South. And he's aware that the South has 4 years. But I want to take him by his word that he is not desperate to be president, but he's desperate to see Nigeria work. I want to take him for that word. But he's also mindful that it was through Atiku that he came into presidential limelight. And Atiku also sees that if it were not for me, you wouldn't have been where you are. But beyond that, that's not true. Nigerians are not looking at who brought who or who was who, or Nigerians are looking at what will change this country. And they have decided that Obi is a better choice to fix this country than Atiku. But if my memory still serves me right, the arrogance and the superiority complex of the Fulanis will never allow Atiku to see beyond his self-entitled posture to become the president of this country. So where are we in this standoff? Now, every politician, for some weird reason, believes that once you indicate an interest for any position, they start from a place that I will win. And no matter how you talk them out, you'll be wasting your time. So, is the whole idea of the coalition about massaging somebody's political ambition, or is it truly about salvaging a country that is in rot, a country that is in chaos? Atiku knows it, and Peter Obi knows it. In fact, everybody knows it, maybe except Atiku's ambition, that the only way you can win Tinubu is if Atiku allows Peter Obi to be the flag bearer of ADC. Then Atiku rallies the North behind Peter Obi, maybe for a 1-year term. And then Atiku gets somebody, maybe a prodigy, to be behind Peter Obi behind Peter Obi. So that after Peter Obi's 4-year term, that prodigy comes in. But politicians, with their greed and selfishness and self-entitlement, would not allow a simple thought process like this control them. So I feel so bad that we have politicians that place their self-entitlement above the interests of the generality of the Nigerian populace. Well, 2027 is gradually creeping in. I really do hope that these people in ADC get their acts right and put the interests of all Nigerians first before personal ambition.
I see some people say that if ADC coalition give their ticket to Atiku Abubakar, people from the south, they are not going to vote Atiku Abubakar. Their reason was, it is still the turn of the south. Calm down, calm down. Let me explain this to you. You understand? They say people in the south will not vote Atiku Abubakar because it's still the turn of the south. This Atiku Abubakar, it's like many of you don't know who is Atiku Abubakar. Now let me tell you something. Buhari just finished his own tenure to 2023. Buhari is from the north. He spent 8 good years in power. Buhari is a Fulani man. Yet Atiku Abubakar uses his own constitutional right that allow every qualified Nigeria to contest. He contested in 2023 election. You understand? When Atiku Abubakar contested in 2023 election, 5 governors from the south, 5 sitting governors from his party out of 12 governors of PDP, 5 of them from the south fight Atiku Abubakar. Since the day he win the presidential election, they fighting till the end of that election. Atiku Abubakar still pull 2.8 something million vote. 2.8 million vote from the south. Do you know how crazy that number is? Do you know how crazy that number is? That despite all the fight, 5 city governors, how many states in the south? How many PDP governors are from the south that time? 5 of them still fight Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar still have the torment to pull 2.8 million votes from the south. Do you know how crazy that number is? Talk of now that another Southern have already chopped 4 years, and if you go by calculation of democracy, the North are still pending with good 6 years of Jonathan. Buhari only spent 8 years of Obasanjo. Nobody from the North spent 6 years that Goodluck Ebele Jonathan did. Nobody did that yet. You understand? So if you are going to think that 2027 election is going to be like 2023, you are being delusional. 2027 election is going to be a tribal card. It's politics of tribes. Nobody is going to play competent or it's purely a tribal card they are going to play in 2027 election. Atiku is not who you think. He is the only person in Nigeria that can, even at worst, he can still pull the required numbers of votes. So stop it.
Tinubu does not deserve a second term, and this is why. It is said that to whom much is given, much is expected. Tinubu has been given more resources than any other president who has ever ruled this nation, even more than the military dictators. But what is he doing with the money? It was alleged that over 7 trillion naira was used to subsidize fuel on a monthly basis. But the so-called increment to the increment in state allocation does not amount to 2 trillion naira. So what is he doing with the money? Yet there is no infrastructure development anywhere in the nation, not even the roads. Our federal roads have been abandoned completely. He has even dismantled the Federal Road Maintenance Agency. Now, a responsible government should be carrying out massive development everywhere, including investing this money for future development. But instead, there is no investment anywhere. He is borrowing more and more, and we are still in debt of over $43 billion. Nigeria is still in debt of over $43 billion. And so what can we say Tinubu is doing for us? What can we say Tinubu is doing for us? With all the resources, instead of us to expect from him, he has discouraged our expectation or our interest or our hope in the Nigerian government completely. We have lost hope in the Nigerian government completely. Is this the kind of person that we should be talking about a second term about? Or that we should support for a second term? He absolutely has nothing to offer. But look at the things that he has ruined, the level of damages that he has caused. Number one, he removed fuel subsidy, increasing the cost of petroleum products by over 500%. He has devalued the naira, increasing the naira has lost value of over 100%. He has increased tariffs of all kinds by over 300%. He has set our economy backward by over 60 years. He has normalized corruption. He has increased insecurity by over 50%. He has promoted disunity. Nigeria has never been this disunited. He has transformed us from a socialist state to a capitalist state. Now there is nothing. Students were given scholarship. Now students are given loans. Where do you expect? Where are the jobs that students should be given loans to pay? In nations where students are given loans, there are jobs for them. In fact, most students work while they study. But here there are no jobs, and yet you are bringing the policy of student loans. And so he's rather improving poverty and indebtedness, which there is no hope for any. That is absolutely slavery. Where is the hope for the students to pay the loan? Before now, even while subsidy was paid, students were given loans. And today, students were given scholarship. He transformed it to student loan, thereby putting the students into indebtedness, financial indebtedness, without any hope of recovery. He has discouraged patriotism. Nigerians have lost hope in their nation completely. Is this the kind of person that we should be discussing about second term about? Any lunatic that will go there, anybody that will go there and drop a vote for this kind of a person is a lunatic. Only a lunatic will vote for Tinubu come 2027. That is just what I have to say.
You see the game Tinubu is trying to play. Tinubu is trying to make Nigeria believe that 2027 is going to be the South and the North. That is the game he is trying to cook. He has already allowed his associate to campaign for a united Southern Nigeria ahead of 2027. He's trying to make the game look like it is the South versus the North in 2027. But the reality on ground still remains that it is Nigeria versus Tinubu and APC. And let me tell you something. If truly Tinubu is campaigning for a united southern Nigeria, or it wanted to make the game look like it is the south versus the north, let's look at it this way. Now pick your phone or pick your calculation. Let's calculate together. How many appointments did Tinubu give to the people of the southwest? How many appointments? Now ask yourself. Now let's come to the south. How many appointments did Tinubu give it to the south compared to the southwest? Then let's come to the southeast. What is the number of appointments Tinubu gave to the people of southeast? Because we believe the southern part of Nigeria was sectioned into three: the southeast, the southwest, and the south. If truly that he wanted to make it the south versus the north, why is it that most of his appointments go to the southwest and Lagos particularly? And these are the people I'm going to pity the most: the southeast. If south is by to the ideas of this south-style agenda of Tinubu trying to push, the person I'm going to pity the most, the section or the region, it is the southeast. And let's look at it in the second scenario. Tinubu knows something like a united southern Nigeria in 2015. No, he did not just remove a southern president, he protested against him. We should not forget history, right? So he knows something like southern Nigeria. And the last but not the least, APC have nothing to give Nigeria. They have nothing to campaign with apart from division, trying to divide Nigeria by using tribalism, religions, and regionalism. Because they have nothing to campaign with. They wanted to divide the attentions of Nigeria from seeing their failure in 2027 election to think the election of 2027 is going to be one region versus another region, or one tribe versus another tribe. But that's not the reality on ground. So we have seen the strategies already. This is the strategies in which he's using what is called division methods of politics. And it is only a failure. It is only a failed leader that do that kind of pattern.
Good day to our viewers all over the world and welcome back to Local Journal. The conversation concerning the 2027 general election is booming currently in spite of challenges of insecurity and in spite of the so many controversies in the country. But I want to state this: the North are trying to get power by force. They want to grab power and take power back to the North by force, and that's the reason why Atiku is doing everything he has to do and throwing every strategy into the box to ensure that he becomes the flag bearer of ADC and probably maybe clinch the top spot. But what I have to say is this country, it's not just for the North alone. The country belongs to all of us. The North had done their 2 tenure already under the late President Muhammadu Buhari, and the North shouldn't be on the ballot this time again if they want to be fair to other people or other regions in this country. But if the North wants to say they want to be on the ballot and they want to grab power because they feel they have the population, well, I think that's just a recipe for destruction and a recipe for division and a recipe that could end this Nigeria they are fighting to rule. Because you see, there are so many people, there are several regions, especially the southeastern region, that has not produced a president since the Second Republic. And you that have been producing a president back to back, you still want to become the president. The Southerner, the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is barely 2 years into his the second phase of his first term. But the North are already planning to take power back to the North. This is it. The North cannot stay out of power because they are already complaining of marginalization. And the truth is this: P2B is the very person most Nigerians are supporting for this top spot. As a matter of fact, he enjoyed a whole lot of support from Nigerians in 2023 before he was rigged out. But the thing is this: he is not going to be given the flag bearing spot for the ADC. he should better stay in Labour Party so that he can continue his ambition. And the thing is this, and if there won't be any coalition, if there won't be any coalition between Atiku and Peter Obi to oust Tinubu, that's to say that a coalition that will make Peter Obi the flag bearer, being deputized by somebody, a strong candidate from the north, then of course we should give, all the Southerners should back Tinubu, in spite of the fact that he has failed and he's not doing anything, or he has not done anything to deserve another 4 years. It is better the South supports their own, because this action of the North always trying to play this card of we own this country and we are superior in terms of number and in terms of power, it's not going to work again. And it's high time the South unite together and foist this whole plan of the North trying to like lord over the South, because it's not making any sense again. If probably maybe after Jonathan lost the election, another Southerner came out, or after Jonathan had his time as a president, and another Southerner came out struggling to like kind of raise power to come back to the South, will these northern people be happy about the situation? They won't be happy. They would have been like kind of raining so many things and like making all sort of comments and all. But the table is turned now, and they are still trying to like kind of take back power, all in the name of the North has more population than the South. This is just nonsense, and the South must stand up to challenge this illegality and ensure that a Southerner is produced and a Southerner becomes the president. The South should support Peter Obi to become the president come 2027 if the ADC fails to, and if the ADC fails to give him the flag bearing position or the flag bearing spot or flag bearer spot, then of course the South should rally around behind Tinubu so that he can complete the 210 or 210 of the South. This is my opinion on this. Can you drop what you think about this in the comment section? And if today is your first time to visit our channel, please can you like, share, and subscribe to our channel.